We're just waiting to board the ship and do our tour, and I have a couple of travel advisors who have not experienced MSC yet. Jennifer, I'm very curious to know, what is it that you're going to be looking for when you get on the ship?
Really, for me, the biggest thing will be to check out the ship from top to bottom in the way of spaces for the client. I'm hopeful that the dining area is showcased and just to get a concept of what they have to offer in comparison to some of the other brands.
Now, Darcy, you don't have a lot of experience selling cruising, as far as I understand it, and you came all the way down from Fredericton to experience MSC. What drove you to do that? Well, a car, I would guess, but...
It did. MSC has always been an interest for me, both from a passenger standpoint and from a client, because I've always heard it's a different cruising experience. So I'm looking to see what possibly that might look like and how it could be different from the Royals or the Carnivals or the Disneys or Norwegians. So that's really what I'm hoping to figure out here today.
And do you think that visiting a ship for a few hours is enough time for you to get that sense of how you would sell it?
Short of being able to go on the ship for a week, yeah, I think it's the best we can do right now. So,
what do your clients look for generally when because it's interesting to talk to someone who isn't necessarily a big cruise seller. So the clients that you do have, what do they look for?
They definitely look for entertainment space. They look for what the ports of call are, and a decent cabin.
Right. Enough space to unpack. That's very important, yeah. And the service, how are you going to judge that?
For us now, I would say in experience, I have lots of clients that have sailed MSC in the past, and they would say that the service is fantastic. So I would say really for us it will be more about attentiveness. That's what we'll be looking at.
Actually, one of the things that I want to understand, since you do sell cruises, why did you decide that you wanted to check out MSC?
Well, MSC is one of the best price points to start cruisers at. So that is definitely a plus in their corner. So if I have new cruisers, I actually do start with MSC and I tell them here is what MSC offers in comparison to the other companies and what the differences are between each. It is a great product to start somebody on. It gives them a feel for what cruising is like, the magic of cruising, let's say. And from there, you can compare the product moving forward if they want something different, what they liked, what they didn't like.
Or you can move them up to the Yacht Club.
Absolutely. That's definitely a great plus.
Yeah, absolutely. And Darcy, do you have a feeling that this will help you to sell more cruising?
I think so. I mean, anytime you can get the opportunity to see ships or any supplier, it gives you more information that you could work off of and provide that information to the clients, especially if you haven't sailed with MSC. So being able to describe a ship more than just what I've seen in the brochures would be a big help.
And you've been selling it without having seen it either, so this will be great for you as well. Thank you so much for your time, both of you. I'd like to ask you what it is about the ship that you saw today that you think might be a unique opportunity for you to sell to your clientele.
I think the uniqueness comes from the actual interior itself. Very European vibe. I found it to be very different from other cruise ships that I've seen. So it's nice. It makes you feel like you're having some pizza. You're having mama's pasta maybe. It's a very Italian vibe, so I like it a lot. It's very different.
So Jennifer, you hadn't seen an MSC ship before. You just did. And what is your impression?
They are beautiful. Yeah, very, very impressed. And the service was wonderful.
Is there anything in particular that you found unique that you might want to focus on when you sell to your clients?
Uniqueness would just be what they offer in comparison, like the mozzarella made right here on the ship, chocolate made right here on the ship. Like that will definitely appeal to some people. And the F1 affiliation is amazing. I have many clients that will be over the moon for that.
So now, Darcy, this was a brand new experience for you to see the MSC ship. I'd love to hear your impression.
I think it's a beautiful ship. There's some similarities with some of the other ships I've been on for some of the other lines, like the promenade area, but some of the other areas are pretty unique. The staircases are incredible. A little bit different artwork around the ship is really cool to see. Disappointed we didn't see any cabins today, but I think it's a great ship.
And when I spoke to you earlier, we were talking about what your clients might be looking for. Is there anything that you found in particular that's unique on the ship that you would offer your clients?
as was previously mentioned, the F1 simulator certainly would be interesting for a lot of people, and some of the entertainment areas I think would be pretty interesting for some people as well.
And you yourself, would you sail on MSC?
Oh yeah, I'd give it a try. It's certainly, I mean, I try most lines at least once, right? So, and it makes it easier to tell people about it if you sailed it. So that's the next step, I guess, for me, is to get on one of the ships for a sailing and have better information to get passed along.
Thank you for your feedback.
Thank you.
Captain Maurizio, you have such an important job running this ship. And what I want to ask you is, for the Canadian travel agents who aren't yet familiar with MSC, you're very familiar with it.
Yes.
What would you say would be a very important component for them to understand how to sell the product?
Okay, the main thing is the MSC is a family cruise that is taking good care of each guest in a way that let them feel them at home. And this is very important for us because every guest we're gonna taking good care of them, let them enjoy the cruise and let them spend good time together.
So for you, it's the family opportunity that is the main message that the advisors should know. Now, beyond that, MSC, of course, being a European and Mediterranean brand, what do you notice about the flavor that you provide and your entire crew?
Well, the flavor is a little bit different because with an European touch and that give them a possibility to discover a different way how to cruising, different from other industries that are here in North America, and for sure our guests gonna appreciate all our effort to let them feel this nice touch.
Yes, well, I mean, we get the European feel even just from your accent, and we notice that from, of course, some of the crew that are on board. We get different flavors of accents, but a lot of it is Italian, which to me is, of course, a huge appeal. Is that part, do you think, of what attracts people to the ship?
No, but track of the people to the ship is also the professionality of our team member, of our crew, and they are coming from all different nationality. From the that concern Italian regarding the officer and senior officer, because we have a culture at sea and we have so many maritime industry at home, so that is the reason why.
Mille grazie.
Prego, è stato un piacere.